January 1943. A Gestapo officer sits across a table from a small, 26-year-old Belgian woman. She has just been arrested at the French-Spanish border with 3 RAF airmen in tow. He asks her who leads the underground network that has been smuggling Allied soldiers across occupied Europe for 2 years. She looks him in the eye and tells him the truth. She does. He laughs and sends her to a concentration camp, because the idea is simply too absurd to believe. That decision saved her life, and it is the most fitting ending to the story of Andrée de Jongh. She was born in Brussels in 1916, during the first German occupation of Belgium. She grew up hearing the story of Edith Cavell, a British nurse, executed by the Germans in 1915, for hiding Allied soldiers and helping them escape. That story did something to Andrée. She trained as a nurse. She told people she wanted to be like Cavell. Most assumed it was the admiration of a child for a distant hero. Nobody could have predicted she meant it literally. When Germany occupied Belgium again in May 1940, Andrée was 23. She became a Red Cross volunteer in Brussels almost immediately, treating captured Allied troops. And then she started doing something else. While moving from house to house as a nurse, she began quietly setting up a network of safe locations, farms, convents, private homes, where downed Allied airmen could be hidden from German patrols. She collected civilian clothes for them, forged identity papers, arranged guides. And then she started walking them out herself. The route was over 500 miles. Brussels to Paris by train, false papers in hand. South through France to Bayonne, then on foot, at night, over the Pyrenees mountains into Spain, evading German and Spanish border patrols simultaneously. Andrée made the crossing herself more than 24 times. She was 5 feet tall and weighed less than 100 pounds. She carried no weapon. Each trip took days. The British intelligence service MI9 initially refused to believe she existed. When she walked 3 men into the British consulate in Bilbao and introduced herself, they assumed she was a German plant. It took weeks of negotiation, and 3 more successful runs before they agreed to fund her operation. Even then she rejected any attempt by the British or Belgian governments to direct or control what she'd built. The money was welcome. The oversight was not. By 1942, her network, known as the Comet Line, was moving airmen at a pace the Germans found incomprehensible. More than 100 people volunteered as links in the chain. Across 2 years, the line successfully returned over 800 Allied soldiers to Britain. Each one represented a journey through occupied territory where a single wrong conversation, a single informant, could end everything. The informant came on January 15, 1943. Andrée was arrested alongside 3 RAF men at a safe house near the Spanish border. She had been betrayed by someone inside the network. At Gestapo headquarters, she was interrogated 19 times. Each time, she told them exactly what she had done and exactly who she was. Each time, they refused to believe her. A girl, running the largest escape line in Western Europe. Impossible. They sent her to Mauthausen, and then to Ravensbrück. She survived. Barely. When the camp was liberated in 1945, Andrée de Jongh weighed almost nothing. She still wore her prisoner's uniform when she walked into an Allied office in Paris to report in. After recovery, she did not return to Belgium for a comfortable life. She went to Africa, and spent decades working as a nurse in leprosariums in the Congo, Cameroon, and Ethiopia, caring for people nobody else would touch, in conditions nobody else would accept. She died in 2007, aged 90. The Comet Line she built without any government's permission saved over 800 lives. More than 100 of the people who helped her run it were killed. She outlived almost all of them. So here's the question: when the Gestapo asked her directly who was responsible, and she told them the truth, was that the bravest thing she did in the whole war, or the most calculated? And why do you think they didn't believe her? Drop your answer in the comments. And if you've heard of another story like this, 1. A woman who did something that history almost missed, I want to know about it.